Hi Tim, what's up?
Hello. Today we're going to dive into the complex world of relationships. We'll discuss communication and problem-solving strategies. How do you usually handle conflicts in your relationships?
That's a difficult question. I try to think about the problem logically and try to explain it, but when it doesn't work, sometimes I keep distance for a while.
That's a thoughtful approach. Taking some distance can give both parties time to cool down. However, do you think that distancing yourself might sometimes lead to unresolved issues?
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes relationship ends when I left it, but I think it's impossible to keep all relationship forever. So if it's end, no, that is the time to end the relationship.
I see your point. Some relationships naturally come to an end. But do you think that open communication might save some of these relationships?
What do you mean, open communication?
By open communication, I mean being honest and transparent about your feelings and concerns. It involves actively listening to the other person without interrupting. Do you think this approach could help in maintaining relationships?
Yeah, that is a thing you are good at. Active listening, right? But do you think it's kind of compromising? Then yes, if I compromise, it's likely I can keep more relationships. But isn't it frustrating?
Active listening does involve some level of compromise, but it doesn't mean you should always give in. It's about understanding the other person's perspective. Do you think finding a balance between compromising and standing your ground could be effective?
Yeah, if I could, I would do so. But what would you do if you couldn't find common ground?
If common ground can't be found, I believe setting boundaries is crucial. It's important to respect each other's differences while maintaining your own values. Have you ever had to set boundaries in a relationship?
Yeah, of course. And that is what I said, the distance. Yeah, but I think I usually try to do my best. And sometimes after a long time, the relationship, what to say, connect again. Yesterday I was surprised receiving a message from my friend, from my college friend. We had some kind of disagreement like 4 years ago about the presidential election in America, or perspective of those COVID-19 things and vaccination. And I was deeply concerned about the vaccination because it was still on experimental time, and I thought it could be great risk for people, so I wanted my friends or families to avoid it, but she had different opinion. And yeah, now the situation has changed, and she gave me message. I was glad, and I phone called to her.
It's great to hear that you reconnected with your friend after such a long time. It shows that relationships can heal over time, even after disagreements. How did you feel during the call? Were there any awkward moments, or did it feel natural to reconnect?
Yeah, that was natural. She's my college friend, and we graduated school long ago, like more than 20 years ago, and she left Japan to America and lived in New York for more than 10 years. And we didn't keep in touch so often. So yeah, so it was quite natural, even there was long time we didn't phone call. Yeah, that was okay.
It's wonderful that you could reconnect naturally despite the time apart. It sounds like your bond was strong enough to withstand disagreements and distance. Do you think this experience has changed your perspective on handling conflicts in relationships?
Not really. I think we needed the time apart, so I think that time when we had disagreement, I didn't persist and didn't push my opinion too much, just step behind. But I think that was good. she has her opinion, right? And as you said, there needs boundaries. Yeah, I worried about my friends, and it was my honesty. So I told her my opinion and waited.
It sounds like you handled the situation with a lot of respect and patience. Waiting for the right moment to reconnect can be wise. Do you think this approach could work in other relationships where there are disagreements?
Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. My father and I have had conflict, disagreement for a long time, and it seems we can't find common ground. Yeah, but it's okay. It happens sometimes.
It's true, some relationships are more challenging to navigate. It's important to accept that not all conflicts can be resolved. How do you manage your relationship with your father despite these disagreements?
He lives far from my place, so we don't have to interact every day. Before, when long vacation, I often go back my home. But recently, I don't visit my parents. Yeah, it's a little sad, but I don't want to hurt my father's feelings and don't want to make any more conflict. He's old and I have children to protect, so
It sounds like you're trying to protect both your father and your children from further conflict, which is very considerate. Do you think there's a way to maintain some form of relationship with him without causing more disagreements?
yeah, when I last met him, he was so upset and told me to get out of his place. Yeah, that was sad and I was hurt, but a few months later, he sent me some food and made apology. Yeah, it happened many times, and then I went back home again, and but he does same things over and over again. So I think we need distance not to disrupt each other.
It sounds like a challenging situation, but it also shows that your father cares about you, even if he has difficulty expressing it. Do you think maintaining some distance while keeping occasional contact could be a balanced approach?
Yeah, that's a good approach. Occasional phone call or writing letter is the best way, I think.
That sounds like a thoughtful way to maintain the relationship without causing more conflict. How do you feel about writing letters? Do you think it could help convey your feelings better than phone calls?
The problem is, my father is too old and maybe having some kind of cognitive problem. So sometimes he's too become paranoia. Like when he was hospitalized, I visited him and tried to help him, but he didn't remember and accused me not visiting him. But actually, I visited him, and that was during pandemic, so the hospital didn't allow us visiting him so often with those doctors supervised. But even if we explain the situation, he can't understand. Maybe he's too old and he doesn't remember what he said. So, for people who has normal cognitive ability, logical explain or honest word would be effective. But for my father, he's sick, so those usual method wouldn't work, I think.
It sounds like a very complex and emotional situation. Cognitive decline can make communication extremely difficult. Have you considered seeking advice from professionals such as doctors or counselors on how to better communicate with your father given his condition?
Yeah. My mother is Alzheimer as well, and she goes to the we call day service, the place those elder people go, and they provide lunch or bathing and come back home so that it mitigates family's workload. And yeah, everyone suggests my father also go with her, but he's initially very shy and exclusive, so he doesn't want to do this. I consult the local government or supporter, but no, to respect his personality or opinion, the only way is to let him, alone and let him do what he wants to do. He's a difficult person, so
It sounds like you're doing everything you can to support both your parents while respecting their wishes. It must be incredibly challenging to balance all these responsibilities. How do you manage your own well-being and stress in such a demanding situation?
it's okay for me. I left home when I was 18, and since then I've been independent, and I already found my own family, husband and children. And my father is not, a part of my everyday routine, part of my life. I love my father. I love my parents, mother and father. But they have rejected my help. When we were young, my parents were young, I suggested, how to help each other in future. I mean, now in this situation, when my parents get old, they might need help. So maybe we can stay together or in near place. But they said they don't want any help, and they want me to get out of their place and also from my hometown. They value independency, and even when I go back home and I cook meal for them, my mother eats it and she's pleased, but my father never have my cooking, and whenever I try to help him, it made him angry somehow. so it's difficult. Yeah, but no, it's their choice and I have my life. I don't really stress from this situation. But sometimes, I feel a little sad. but
It must be tough to feel rejected when you're trying to help, especially with such strong feelings of love and responsibility towards your parents. It's commendable how you respect their wishes while managing your own family and life. How do you balance these emotions, especially the sadness that sometimes comes up?
it's not so often and it doesn't bother me so much. I enjoy my life. Sometimes I meet up my friends and address to local activity, and also I do organic farming with my friends. It's so enjoyable. Today I harvested lots of vegetables and used them for dinner. It's a social program, and sometimes it can't be solved by individual. After World War II, those victor countries tried to divide people, and they hold some kind of negative campaign for family value. I think my parents influenced from that miseducation and denied the value of family. But it's not anyone's fault. My parents, me, or so. My parents manage things so far.
It's wonderful to hear that you have such fulfilling activities and a strong support network with your friends. Organic farming sounds like a great way to stay connected with nature and community. Do you find that these activities help you process any lingering emotions about your family situation?
Yeah, I think so. And also my part-time job working for cafe or restaurant is so enjoyable. My coworkers are all nice and dedicating, and the owner, when I met him for the first time, he told me, work as you like, you can do whatever you want. Then I like that style. And now, at first, I was hired to wash dishes, but Now I can do pretty much everything. Today I was in the kitchen and cooked lots of meals. Usually in Japanese restaurant, those whole staff, waitress and cook are separated, but on my restaurant I can do anything, and I like to work in busy situation, so it's so fun. I took order and cook and serve. I do everything.
It sounds like your job at the cafe is very fulfilling and gives you a lot of freedom and variety, which must be very rewarding. It's great that you have such a supportive work environment. How do these positive experiences at work influence your overall outlook on life? It sounds like your job at the cafe is very fulfilling and gives you a lot of freedom and variety, which must be very rewarding. It's great that you have such a supportive work environment. How do these positive experiences at work influence your overall outlook on life?
I have been a housewife for 15 years and kind of confined in my house, but after I started to work, it's so fulfilling, and also I have some money that I earned on my own, so it gives me lots of freedom, to go to lunch with my friend or to shop some dress. And also, since my coworker and boss are very nice, I always feel accepted and rewarded. Sometimes I make minor mistake, or sometimes more than minor mistake, but no one kills me, and they understand I'm doing my best.
It sounds like your job has brought a lot of positive changes to your life, giving you both freedom and fulfillment. It's wonderful that you feel accepted and supported by your co-workers and boss. How do these experiences at work impact the way you approach challenges or conflicts in other areas of your life?
Yeah, by earning some money, that mitigate some kind of stress, like when organic farming, I have to buy some, some fruit trees to plant, but half of them will fail because of the tree and soil don't fit. It can't grow. Then I have to buy other kind again. Then before I have to worry about the cost a lot, but now I can feel I can earn this money easily, so it's really mitigates my stress of finance. And also when my children break things or lost things, before I was really mad, but nowadays okay, I will work more days next month, and
It's great to hear that your job has given you financial freedom and reduced stress in various aspects of your life. It sounds like this newfound independence has also made you more relaxed and understanding, especially with your children. How do they react to this change in you?
yeah, I think now family relationship become better, especially for my first son. He was a little short-tempered before, but now he's relaxed and no problematic behavior like before. Before, maybe 3 years ago, he charged quite an amount of money for online games, and that was a big problem of my family. He used my and my husband's credit card and break the security. Did that. Yeah, that was not funny. Yeah, but we talked about it several times, and now I think he understand.
It sounds like your positive changes have had a ripple effect on your family, especially with your son. It's impressive that you managed to address such a challenging situation and come out stronger as a family. How do you ensure open communication with him now to prevent similar issues in the future?
Yeah, now he's 14 years old, so sometimes it's difficult to open communicate. He needs some privacy. And also, he's looking for his independence. Yeah, but now he's he has his own goal to enter tech high school. And I'm going to support him. Yeah, when he had problem, he was kind of addicted. And he said he's going working. And I believed him, but actually he was buying a card to charge game at the convenience store, and I accidentally found it and called him and asked him what is going on, and he started to cry. Without charging, he can't come up with online friends. He can't participate online event. I was so sad to listen to it. That time, the government said the COVID-19 was prevalent, and they discouraged the communication of many people. It's impossible to confine teenage boys for 2-3 years in home. So I think that was a social problem. So I can't accuse my son. I was so sorry for all children and my son. I was so guilty and felt responsible for it.
It's clear that you have a deep understanding of the challenges your son faced, especially during such a difficult time like the COVID-19 pandemic. It must have been heartbreaking to see him struggle with isolation and addiction. Your empathy and support likely played a crucial role in helping him through it. How do you plan to continue supporting his goals and ensuring he feels understood as he prepares for tech high school?
I think now he's doing well, and I don't really push anything to him. He initially liked studying or reading, and he's capable. So, not so worried. My husband has arrived. I have to go dinner. Thank you for company, Timothy. It was nice talking to you.
It was a pleasure talking with you as well. You're doing a fantastic job balancing everything in your life and supporting your family. Keep up the great work. Enjoy your dinner, and I look forward to our next session.
はい、ありがとうございました。ティムありがとね。じゃあね。おやすみ。